and the known universe.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
It's the Upstate Pulse of News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. Brought to you by Borderlands Comics and Games.
You're on the air.
Welcome into the Upstate Pulse. My name is Lonzo. It is a beautiful Saturday night here in the upstate of South Carolina. If you're hearing us in Georgia, or if you're hearing us in North Carolina, or maybe somewhere around the world, welcome in. We're going to have a fun show because that's what we try to do on a Saturday night. We like to have fun. You get plenty of politics and, things that are going on bad in the world during the week with our award-winning program. Why not have yourself a smile? And we hope to provide it either by being funny or being so stupid that it's funny. Because, there's those people that you're like, that is so dumb. That makes me chuckle. Well, that's me. So I'm here for that. Everybody else on the show is our fine, upstanding citizens, and they're hilarious, and it's great. It's awesome. Stop staring at me, Tim.
I wasn't even looking at you.
Like, okay, well,
I was looking at Willie back
there. Out of the corner of my eye. Willy Wonka. Let's start with the yes, Willy Wonka. That's what he was looking at, Willy Wonka. All right.
Yes. Hello, my name is Willy.
Yes. If this is the first time you listen to the show, here's what we do. We talk pop culture. We talk video games. We talk conventions. We talk Bigfoot. We talk artificial intelligence. By the way, we're doing AI Takeover today. Heard Hawk and Tom down the hall doing it. Charlie's talking about it. Everyone's talking about it. We were talking about it first here. I've warned you, and now people are starting to wake up. Maybe not the people in this room, but people around the building are starting to wake up to the ills, the evils, the possibility of world killing of AI. We're going to get to that eventually. And yeah, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. You can also get us on the text line at 71307. Please text Flaccid to 71307. Had a wonderful conversation with the King Flaccid himself on text yesterday, and then he just stopped. So I probably offended him.
You know what else you can text?
What is that?
Well, I can't say. I've been forbidden.
Yeah, you have been. Yes. Do not text that. I do not want to have to explain that.
Do it.
Dude, we're going to have a talk later. I can't. Dude, stop it.
What?
All right. So if you want to catch us on Facebook, you can do it at the Upstate Pulse or at 989 WORD, or you can get me on my personal Facebook page, which is Lonzo on Word. On Twitter, we are at 989 WORD and Lonzo on Word. On Twitch and YouTube, the Upstate Pulse. And I think we're still banned on YouTube for a word, so I didn't even try.
Oh, yeah, it was a 2-week ban.
Yeah, so we're still banned because although they have...
We got one more week.
We're not going to get into to politics because we don't talk that here, but YouTube has lifted one of their things about elections. So maybe they're starting to lighten up a little bit. All right.
YouTube put us in timeout.
Yeah, they did. All right. So on the stream right now, Chris says the crew is back. Yes, we are all back. I will tell you who they are in just a moment. Chris also says, I will fight against the AI. I'm old, but I'll fight. I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah, me
Front
too,
lines.
man.
No, you're one of them. Mark says, hey guys, shout out to Kid Flaccid. Chris says, hey, by the way, I think you guys all need to give us your comic origin stories. That's a good idea. That's something we could do. I was thinking. All right. So, I've been asked over the years. So we've been here 8 years and it's been criticized by some members. Like, why do you introduce everybody? Because you don't get that chance on other shows. And I think it's the stars in this room are not me. I put the show together. The stars are the other guys here and you listening. I'm like the narrator. That's what I am. Just a narrator. Just that, not a very good narrator, but I'm a narrator who gets lost sometimes, So he's telling the story of what's going on, but he's like looking out the window while other stuff is happening. That's me. I'm that narrator. All right. The first.
Are you the grandpa in Princess Bride?
No. I can never be Columbo. Peter Falk, I believe is the actor's name. The first guy you're going to hear, a lot of people are tuning in because they hear him during the week on the Charlie James Show. That would be T2 Tim Snow.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And you've wondered what Tim was like. Yeah, you already knew. You hear him on Charlie. That's him.
Yeah, that's me.
That's him. Also, the upgrade, Cameron Reitzel is with us.
Hi, I'm here.
And finally, back after a couple weeks, he's been on assignment. That would be the dulcet tones of Matthew Causey.
Hello, hello.
There we are. Man, your bass just hit it. You're like, ooh, that felt good. Yeah, I know how that goes.
The right way to listen to Matthew is with subwoofers.
Yeah, you got to get them subs, or maybe you got that, what was that, love sack or something? The furniture that you can mix and match. It's it's love sack. It's a little place where we can get together. But you put
that was a love shack.
No,
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The tin roof is rusted. No, it's sectionals that you can mix and match furniture, like couches and
I know what a sectional is.
Chaise lounges, and they have like some of the speakers built into the.
Well, wouldn't
thing.
that be nice?
Yeah, especially if you got that woofer down in your couch.
Yeah, it probably costs like $9,000.
And you hear Matthew say something like, "Hey you," or "Hey baby," or something. Say something, Matthew.
Hi ho.
Yeah, there we go. It's just going to be rumbling down there. You ain't hungry. It's Matthew. All right. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We are going to be talking. We all went to a ratings party. All right, Cameron didn't go because he wasn't invited because he was working. But we got to go to a ratings party.
I was busy building things.
Yes, he was because he has a day job. This is our day job. And we're going to be Matthew is going to talk about Momocon, and he brought visual stuff. So if you're watching on stream, you're going to get some of the stuff that he bought. Matthew also went to see Spider-Verse. None of us did. So he's going to review Spider-Verse. And we have an AI takeover that has to do with music and James Cameron and drones. I'm just gonna, it's multifaceted. There's quite a bit there. I got an AEW question I'm going to ask. Also, we're going to talk some video games and cheese today. We haven't done cheese in a while, so we'll do this in hour number 2, and I will tell you again when we get to it. But for now, whenever we're using an article or a quote, and that person is a potty mouth, and they curse a lot. Well, we can't say those on the air because of FCC regulations, and we like our jobs. So we replace the curse words with cheese. We've been doing this since the beginning of the show, and so you might learn something. You might be thinking, I'm going to have a nice candlelight dinner tonight. What cheese do I use? Well, we're going to give you 4 different cheeses later that you could also substitute for any curse word that you want to use. So it's a good thing. It really is. So cannot wait for that. First, let's start with this. By the way, you guys are going nuts on the stream. I'm going to try not to ignore you. I will try to get to every one of them. Text line again, 71307. So winners have parties that's a direct quote from our GM downstairs. And so quarterly, we usually have some sort of party to celebrate the building's domination over this entire area, because there's no competition, and we prove it every time with our ratings. And now for this station, now we are everywhere.
Yeah,
we are. So
making it. So
we cannot wait for our next ratings to see what WRD does. So anyway, we have a ratings party, and for the first time ever, it was just talent there. And yes, I consider producers talent too, because I don't think there's a producer in the building that doesn't talk on the air. And so that makes you a co-host. And here's how you save money if you're a company. You let producers be co-hosts, but you don't pay them like co-hosts. That's how that works. I mean, I don't know if you knew that, but it does work that way. And that's secrets. Fine. The price you pay for fame, someday, maybe we'll be on the other side. Who cares? Don't need to be on the other side. We can do everything while those guys can only do one thing. So anyway, we went to go bowling and had a good time with Matthew and with Tim and with Tim. Yeah, there's 2 Tims.
Yeah, both Tims.
Yeah, both
It's
Tims.
the reason why one is named T2.
And, so the fan Upstate was there. Magic 106.3. It's hard. It's very, really hard to say.
I had to, for the first week or two, I had to constantly stop myself every time that I had to say 98.9 from saying 98.9 because it's 20 years plus what I've been. Well,
and I just had to stop myself, but I got it. And also B93.7, 93.3 The Planet, Classic Rock 101, and The Block. I don't think I missed anyone. So there are 7 stations. We were all there, and for the first time, we didn't have salespeople there. So it was just actually the talent, the product, if you will. Had discussions with salespeople. Most of them are good, I think. But I've had arguments with them saying, well, if we don't sell you, you don't have a show. And then I'm like, yeah, but we're the product. Without the show, you have nothing to sell. And there's a compromise in there, and I'm not doing it. We're not doing it. So we had fun. We went to what's the name of that place?
Spare Time.
Spare Time. Yeah, we went to Spare Time, and we had fun, and we bowled, had some good food, just walked around, talked to people. One of my favorite things that happened over there was when Bob McClain walked up to me and said, Lonzo, what the bleep happened? Talking about me being in the hospital.
Yeah, he did. I was standing right there.
It's just, that's Bob. It's just like, yeah, okay, Bob, let me tell you all. Just watching him cringe.
To be fair to him, there was a lot of that.
Yeah. Watching him cringe as I told him everything that happened. And then, and then he got called away to bowl his next ball. So we had fun, but I got accused of something, and I need the listeners' help with this. I've been accused of being a scammer, and I am not. All right. So,
sometimes they just calls them as they sees them.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I'm not gonna say who called me a scammer, but they were very shocked that I did this. But those are my people. I don't know the salespeople, but I know all the talent. I do, because a lot of those guys and girls have worked here for a decade or so. So I know them all. There's only a couple people who've been in this building longer than me, and that's Hawk and Tom and Cato. Those are the only guys who've been in this building longer than me. So I knew we were getting a $20 game card, and I knew, as many of us know, that most of those people don't play games. So my idea going in was to go around and get as many of their cards as I could.
Right.
I don't think that's scamming. If they put the card in their pocket,
that's called ingenuity.
If they put the card in their pocket and they don't use it, you know what happens? It gets wasted.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so
waste not, want not.
Yeah. And as the gaming show in the building, and I hadn't played any games there, I wanted to, and I knew it's one of those things where they have skee ball, they have Pop-A-Shot, they have a bunch of stuff like that. You earn points, and with those points, you can go buy stuffed animals and things like that. So
yeah.
So
now that's the true scam.
So yeah.
Well, true.
So here's the thing. So am I a scammer by going up and asking people who I know are not going to use their card, can I have their card?
No.
All
No,
right.
absolutely not.
All right. So I will let you know that I got 7 of them. So I had 7 of them.
Nice.
Some people had to come back to work, but Rob Brown and I, from the Rob Brown Show, I know it's kind of weird.
Still weird.
Yeah, it is. And Diddy, who you may not know, but he's actually produced some over here, and
I've met him
the fan.
once.
We went over there and split the cards between us and got as many points as we possibly could. And I played for an hour and a half, and those guys left, and I'm in there with all the kids, and I'm thinking,
and felt at home.
No. Well, after everybody left, I'm like, okay, it's just me.
Yeah.
And then so like I said, you got skee ball, you got Pop-A-Shot, you got all these different games. And then there's those coin games where you launch the coin and it shoves them. And if I
hate that game.
If you launch it right, it will cause more coins to fall and you get more points out of it.
Yeah.
So I played that a couple of times because they had a DC one. And they also had cards in it, DC cards like Wonder Woman, Flash, Superman, all that kind of stuff. And so if you get the cards shoved
Plastic
off,
Man?
I don't think I got a Plastic Man. So if you get the card shoved off, you get to keep the card, which is kind of cool, you know, because I collect stuff like that. And then I realized that I still had 1850 left on one card. So I just stayed at that machine and played it. So if you time it right, you get extra coins. And if you can get those coins in the back where there isn't anything, it will shove the ones off the front. I ended up getting like 12 of those cards. I got a ton. It's, as producers, we know it's a matter of pushing the button at the right time. So as soon as I got the rhythm of the thing and realized how to get the extra coins and when to hit it just right to get it on the back where it was empty, I started cleaning up on the thing. And so I got all those extra cards and they just started dropping. I was like, yeah. So, and it's not a big deal except for I did it. and other people weren't able to do it. So then, not a scammer, by the way, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go get my granddaughter something with these points. Let's see how many we have. And we ended up with 3,630 something points.
Nice.
Not bad.
Which is not bad we found a couple games that we got a lot of points in. And like I said, I was cleaning up on that game. So here's what I got. I got a Yahtzee game.
Nice.
I got a deck of playing cards that are oversized for people who can't see, like Tim when he's not wearing his glasses,
Right.
or my wife and I, because we're grandparents. And so when we can play our bridge, I don't know how to play bridge. But when we first got married, we would play rummy all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about shuffleboard?
And I want to do that again. I would clean up at shuffleboard.
I know you would.
Maybe
I love
someday.
solitaire.
Yeah.
I like Go Fish.
Yeah. Matthew, that was so sad. I like solitaire. And then I also
like
got
high stakes poker.
Oh,
yeah, there we go.
go.
Just
Yeah.
like, I like strip poker. Yeah, that's what I meant.
I do play Texas Hold'em though.
But I also got, and here was the hardest. I got 2 little mini slimes, and then the hard choice. All right, kids, mostly little girls in there. I wanted to get her a My Little Pony, but I'm worried about bronies. And I'm thinking, if I get this pony, everyone's going to look at me like I'm a brony. I did it, by the way. I got it. But so I thought with all the extra stuff, and I kind of hid the pony underneath because I didn't want that label. Hey, if you're a brony and you're into that, I can't, man. It's kind of weird.
Oh,
yeah.
It's
a little strange.
It's kind of
I don't
weird.
want my face in the paper with them labeling me as a brony.
Yeah, so
This just in, the Alonzo.
So I didn't want to go up there to the dude behind the counter and him go, oh. I didn't want that. He didn't. And before I went up
you're
there,
a brony, man. You're a brony, bro.
before I went up there was 2 kids that had to be about 11 and walked up. Yo, bro, where you at, bro? What I was like, I'm like, oh my gosh. I did, we say that joking around. Now I'm actually witnessing a couple kids doing that. Yo, bro.
Hey, bro.
How many points I got, bro?
Yo.
I'm like,
Yo, bro.
I'm like,
It's my turn, bro.
yeah. It's like, so I went up there and I gave them all the cards. Look at the cards. I was like, yeah, we just had a party and all the people who weren't gamers gave me their cards and and so I explained it and everything and then he wanted me to just carry it out. I was like, do you have a bag? And so I got a bag because I didn't want to be labeled as a brony.
That's just you thinking ahead.
Yeah. Well,
You're very conscious
listen,
about your image, and
I circled around the My Little Pony a bunch, and I'm like, this is for my granddaughter. She's really into ponies now. I got to do this, but it doesn't mean I can't. I waited till nobody else was looking. I did it, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Nobody else in this room would have thought about that being labeled as a brony.
Oh, I would have. You did exactly what I would have done.
Thank you, Mark.
I would have said,
wouldn't have.
I don't care. These are my points. I will use them for me.
Okay. All right. This is going to go well with my collection. All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Matthew's going to tell us about Momocon because he was there last week. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Getting things for grandchildren? Nah, tell them to get a job.
Yeah, she's almost 5. How's she not working yet?
I know, exactly. I can't believe
You
this.
ain't got no job?
This lazy generation, gosh.
Good for nothing.
Lazy good for nothing.
All right, we're going to come back and we're going to go through stream comments and someone can tell me if we have any texts.
Only one from Scott.
Okay, well.
And there's a few more. No, just one more.
All right, we're going to get to those. We're going to get to text and then Matthew can tell us about Momocon. What's up, everybody? Yes, Tim is eating.
Sorry, I'm hungry.
And now we see Tim in his natural habitat. During break,
I don't know, Tones. We'll talk about this, but they're like entire documentaries about that. You don't make a documentary about something, multiple documentaries, if it's okay, I guess. Talking about bronies, they're
don't watch them unless you're okay with harnesses.
the what?
Never mind. Just keep going.
What is wrong with you?
I'm actually being honest here. there's like a clip of something. I'm like, yeah, I'm not watching that.
My daughter and I watched one of them, and it wasn't anything like
different
that.
thing.
Okay.
Different thing.
All right.
So speaking of Momocon, I have to ask, have y'all ever seen or heard of the Chuck E. Cheese movie?
No, and I'm very terrified right now.
It's actually from the movie. I got it for like $6 at Walmart.
Please elaborate on the Chuck E. Cheese movie.
So it was one of the panels I went to at Momocon was a Saberspark panel, which Saberspark is a YouTuber who does like media review type stuff.
Yeah.
And so the panel was watching a bad movie. And so he pulled up the Chuck E. Cheese movie and played it on a projector in a packed crowd.
Oh god.
And it was hilarious because it was so bad. It was a sci-fi race movie thing.
Okay. So it's not there was a Chuck E. Cheese like movie, which was Nicolas Cage working in a place overnight.
It's the Chuck E. Cheese mascot characters going into space and racing in space cars. That was basically
so it was
pod
Mario
racing adjacent because it came out in that time.
So Mario Kart,
horrible early 2000s CGI.
Oh god.
And the main antagonists were these stereotypical German dude bros who were trying to get
Hans, we're going to beat Chuck E. Cheese.
Exactly, but that exact horrible accent.
We're going to defeat
Tone
him.
says he's seen that movie. Oh yeah. Now I want to watch it.
Surprise Zungas.
Now I gotta watch it. I absolutely have to watch it now.
Eat my dust, Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, but
Oh, you said eat my dust. I thought you were actually speaking in German.
A very
for a second.
awkward amount of sexual tension for the Chuck E. Cheese movie, and it was very funny.
Well, between who?
Between the female chicken mascot. And the real human woman.
What?
So there was a real human woman and the Chuck E. Cheese chicken girl mascot thing. And then all the male characters around that.
Why?
It was really stupid.
The
but
things
really
you learn on this
funny.
program.
It's one of those things that you don't watch it alone because it's like, no, this isn't like a fun time. It's fun to make fun of with friends.
No, I got
you.
So it's like a Mystery Science 3000 thing that they would make fun of. That type of thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
It was hilarious.
It's like The Room. You have to watch The Room with friends.
Yes.
I did not hit her.
I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi,
Hi,
Mark.
Round it up. Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Alonzo, T2, Cameron, and Matthew. Whole crew back together for a wonderful Saturday. We're already a quarter of the way through this show. This thing flies by. It really does. If you want to be a part of the show, text line 71307. We have any texts?
We do actually. All right. Texter writes, guys, will you be talking about Into the Spider-Verse tonight? Early reviews seemed to be positive, but one reviewer on YouTube was extremely upset with the way it ended. Your opinions from Scott.
All right. So Matthew is the only one who went to see it, but he will answer that question.
It was an unbelievably fantastic movie.
All right, but wait.
But I'm not going to talk much.
Yeah, no, you're not yet because it's not time yet.
Yeah.
You gotta wait. You gotta do Momocon first.
Exactly.
See, you gotta make them wait. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, I'll tell you all why it's
the art of the tease.
Sometimes I'll make them wait too long, and then it's it's.
I will interrupt if I have to.
There we
get my piece in on the.
That's
the
what
movie.
it's your time to shine, dude. Right after we get to some comments on the stream, which you can be a part of: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Come on by and say hey. Let's see. Mark says, hey guys, shout out to Kid Flaccid. Let's see. Brantley, what up? Greenville, South Carolina. What up, Brantley? Tone says, I wanted to go to Momocon, but I was in Tennessee. Well, when Matthew talks about it in a minute, it'll be
I'll tell you all about what you missed out on.
It'll be just like you were there. Chris says, I think T2's origin story is he was a spawn of a Pharaoh Rouge predator.
Rogue predator.
Is that spelled right?
A feral rogue
Okay.
predator. Nice.
All right. Obviously I don't know how to spell rogue.
I'll
I
be
know
sure
where
to
he's
share
going.
my
All
origin
predators
story.
feral.
All right, there's a reason why I have trouble with that word because of the worst Star Wars movie ever made.
You're fine.
Oh yeah, okay.
It is spelled wrong.
Okay,
I'll be sure to share my origin
it's
story.
GUE.
In
Somebody-
proper Spider-Verse
His father
fashion
battled
during
against
during the review.
AI protecting his money. No, he would not battle against the AI because he doesn't believe it's a problem. All right, Chris says.
I do believe it's a
his
problem.
name. Okay, let's see. Lonzo's not a scammer. Mark says, if anything, he's brutally honest. Hey, people couldn't believe I came up and asked. They're like shocked, like, hey, you're not using it. Let me have it. Lonzo, please, for the love of all that's holy, don't be a brony. I'm not a brony, man. I'm not. It's for my granddaughter. I will tell you that she was very excited about it. She was playing with it today. She loved it. So it was worth it for that. Tone says there's nothing wrong with the guy liking My Little Pony. It's all the other weird stuff that guys have done in the fandom that ruined it. Okay. So the cartoon itself, I've watched some with her. It's not bad. It got a pretty good message most of the time. Chris wanted to see what my Dungeons and Dragons t-shirt was, and it is from the movie, and didn't even know it when I bought it. Just saw it said Dungeons and Dragons, and it was $6. So there we go. We were talking about the Chuck E. Cheese movie during the break. By the way, you're missing out because we do an entire show during the breaks on stream. So you should tune in there. Let's see. Zach says the worst Star Wars movie ever made. Not even close. Objectively false. Hey, we know that I'm right, Zach, and it's okay. You're right on a lot of things, just not on this. But
I
disagree.
Which is the worst one ever made?
Rogue One. Without a doubt.
I don't think it's the worst one.
It should never have been made. I'm embarrassed that it was ever put in the theater or on stream or YouTube or, being able to watch it on your phone or something. It's
all right.
ridiculous.
To go literary here and to quote Death of a Salesman, spite.
Okay.
I know that went really over.
Well,
but
yeah, I mean, hey, Tim, have you ever seen Death of the Salesman?
No.
Matthew.
Yes, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, same here.
All right. We can move on.
Yes, Chris, it is Angry Zach, without a doubt. Okay, so Matthew was at Momocon, and he is going to tell us what it's like because we have never been to Momocon.
It was a really fun time. So if you aren't familiar with Momocon, it is mainly an anime and manga centered convention, but it is pop culture as a whole. There was actually in the back of the exhibit floor, which is the vendor hall, there was a wrestling ring set up, and they had shows every couple hours, which was, I thought about y'all when I saw that. Specifically you, Lonzo.
Was it a local wrestling thing or was it?
I don't know exactly because I didn't pay any attention to it. I just saw, hey, there's wrestling there, and I can hear it, and it's crowding up the hallway. So that's cool. Lonzo would probably like that. So that was kind of the end of it for me.
It took people away and opened up aisles and stuff for you.
No.
Okay.
It clogged the entire area up. It was kind of annoying. Just because of where they put it and everything. But there's only so much space in there to make use of. I mean, it's a massive area. Like, think about how big Comic-Con was. It's probably about twice that size, at least. Probably about 3 times that size, because there's a few rooms dedicated to an arcade section. There's some retro gaming sections as well that have some smaller events going on. There's an entire section dedicated to tabletop gaming and card gaming. There is an entire section dedicated to the Smash Brothers tournament that goes on during that weekend, which South Carolina represented amazingly, by the way. We had several people from the upstate specifically that hit top 64. And Momocon is considered a major, which is like the largest and most highest talent pool bringing tournaments. So that was really awesome. And then there was the big vendors hall, and I spent a lot of time in the vendors hall, just kind of walking back and forth, checking out a few different things. I got a few extra volumes of One Punch Man while I was there, and a couple other things. One thing that I got was was specifically, when is Dragon Con? That's in August, I think. Was the Dragon Ball 30th anniversary, I believe, 30 or 35th anniversary Yamcha Isekai manga one-shot thing that was really cool.
Which, by the way, to explain isekai, isekai is whenever you get reincarnated as something else.
Yeah, it's roughly translates to in another world.
Yeah.
So it's all that kind of stuff. But there was a fun little comedy one-shot thing for one of the Dragon Ball anniversaries. I got a bunch of posters. I was extremely excited. So I say that this is specifically thanks to the Trigun reboot recently, that Trigun has started getting a lot more popular. So it always had some level of niche popularity in the US, just being a space western, and that was a thing that had some level of popularity in America just because of the Western aspects.
I forget, did that come out before or after Cowboy Bebop, or like
right at the same time?
Okay.
So I believe Trigun would have come out before because it was originally a manga. In like the late 80s, I believe, is when it started, like 88, 89 or something like that. And then Cowboy Bebop came out in the early 90s, and the Trigun anime adaptation came out like right at the same time, like maybe a year before. But yeah, so they were all in that same kind of time frame and same kind of mindset. But so there was not a lot of, but there was several Trigun posters, and I got a super awesome one that I don't have with me here because it's hanging up in my office now, of a wanted poster of Vash and Wolfwood, the $60 billion double dollar wanted poster. But I got a couple other posters as well. Let me show.
He is now going to retrieve the posters,
which he should have left within
Gave
reach,
a little bit of some prep,
but he did not. So
and now we
so
must
it's cool. I don't know. So let us know. Text line 71307 or on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. The way he's describing it, don't you want to go? Because I kind of want to go. I kind of do.
It sounds like fun. It sounds like our kind of con.
Absolutely does. I'm curious about what the traffic is like.
He's not frantically going on.
I found it. So if I can hold this up here, I'm going to show it in front of yours because it's slightly easier to show off. Maybe.
Oh no, my face.
Yeah, but.
I'll go over here.
But yeah, so this was
someone needs to talk. There we go.
Elden Ring poster that I got, and this was a really cool seller because they also had like different mats and stuff. Unfortunately, I didn't get a mat because the ones that they had were a little too short for what I wanted for my desk and how it's set up. But I got that. I got a super awesome Gurren Lagann poster that's also up in my wall, on my wall. And I got another Trigun poster that is more of the reboot designs, if this is very visible, I mean. But some really awesome art sellers. Some really awesome other stuff. I got to hang out with a bunch of friends, go out and eat. And it was really awesome getting to actually specifically see a bunch of friends from college that I literally haven't seen in 4 years. Like
there is this thing, though. There is this thing where Matthew had no idea what day it was. I'm just gonna.
Yes. So on Friday when I went, near the evening, I was on my way to go to dinner, and I texted Lonzo. I was like, "Oh, I'm in a car. I can totally call into the show and talk about the convention." Forgetting that it was Friday.
Yeah, but it was Friday. It was Friday. So it was very nice that you were thinking about doing that, though.
But yeah, so it was a fun time. I had a lot of awesome stuff that was going on. Got to see.
Partied a little too hard, didn't you?
I was in my right mind. I was just stupid.
I know.
But we all have those stupid moments where we just have a lapse in brain function. But it was an awesome time. There was some really cool panels. I got to check out a couple of. I mentioned one during the break. The panel talking about just watching a stupid, horrible movie and laughing at it.
The Chuck E. Cheese movie.
The Chuck E. Cheese movie.
Now we're all going to look it up. All right, so Momocon sounds really cool. But as usual, we're behind on breaks. So we need to take one since we have 2 left. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas, and Rogue One stinks.
He just had to get his lies in at the end, I see. It's not like good or anything. It's
always wait a little bit to talk because Tim never turns his mic off.
Well,
ever?
Yeah.
Ever?
Here's the thing.
Just didn't do it fast enough.
I also like Rogue One. I'm not like the biggest fanboy for it, but this is like.
But people want to fight over Rogue One, and that's my kind of fun.
Exactly. That's the problem.
God.
Is they don't realize that they feed into you.
Oh, he does.
There's the
one that's fighting me absolutely knows me well enough to know.
But he can't help himself. It's a never-ending clash of natures.
That's why he is one of the OGs here on the show.
It's one of those movies to me that's like, it's not good, but like I don't hate it. It's just
went the eternal
middling.
conflict.
It's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's
that's some cool
There's
moments. That's
worse
some cool
Star
elements.
Wars movies.
Yeah. Most of them residing within the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, but the ones that are worse, and there may be a couple, don't have the backing like this particular one is. As I pointed out to him, there are a bunch of lists out there. There, like a month or so ago, a bunch of people were putting out lists of putting the Star Wars movies. It was around May the 4th in an order of what was the best. And Rogue One generally was bottom third. Not last on some, but pretty close.
I would probably put it.
Zach, I'm not sure that's a sentence, dude. Calm down.
Maybe 6th or 7th.
You didn't even put a period on the end of it. What are you doing?
I feel like he's just hyperventilating.
Did you forget how to punctuate?
I'd probably put it right below the Clone Wars movie
About Zach.
because the Clone Wars movie that led into
He is
the
right,
show.
I will have
bad.
to say. I
I
agree,
heard
Zach.
he's
not
not great.
right.
It's
He's
not.
not.
It's like they were first starting to.
This
try.
one
Feels
is
like
episode 8.
An extended
By
show
far.
pilot because that's literally what it was. It was 3
See, here's
episodes
the thing.
turned into a movie.
Yeah, and I've never
What
seen
makes
it
Rogue
before.
One one of the
Yeah,
reasons
it's-
why it makes
There's
it
no reason to.
one of
It's
the
kinda
worst, if
whatever.
not the
There's a
worst
couple
for me.
fun,
enjoy
quick
it.
lines
I
from
enjoy
No,
Obi-Wan,
no,
but that's
it's
the best part
because
it.
of this.
The series
defense
itself
of it.
was so much
You're
better.
defending something because you
Yeah.
want to, because it
I
was
mean, even the
popular
first
to
season
say
as a
that it
whole
was the best.
It
So
I
definitely
wouldn't
was.
say that
I'm not
it's
saying
the
Zach's
best.
that guy,
There was
but
some
a lot of
great
guys,
episodes
oh yeah,
in
I
the
liked
first
it because
season,
everyone else
but
says they
it is
liked it,
like
even though the
second and
movie
third
was not
season
that
onward
good.
that starts
I'm
really
not
getting
going to
good.
bow to popularity.
Well, I'm not bowing to popularity either. I will tell you the only reason I like that movie is because of Darth Vader in the end.
Well, and that's the thing.
That is the only reason I
you
like
take
that
Darth Vader out of it, and all these people, you take it out, they don't like it
That's
anymore.
what made the
But
movie.
di-
for me.
So 1
Oh,
minute.
yes, Tons.
1
the Don
minute
Bluth
And
time
it's
in the
worth it.
movie.
super awesome.
I've done, you know
It was
what?
really cool.
I've
You
done
know
it.
this better than anybody. The anticipation
me and one of my friends
I've done it a
see
bunch in video
is
games.
key
And I
in
would say,
entertainment.
I
It
would
was
say
really
video
fun and really
games did it
insightful.
better. You know what? The show that did it better was Obi-Wan.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
when
that
Darth
it's
Vader
the
caught
best.
Obi-Wan,
I'm saying
that
that
destroyed
it
Rogue
is
One.
not the worst. The worst
Well,
of the
the other-
entire franchise is Episode 8. It's the one that ruined the entire story.
I'm not the purist. I'm okay with new stories. I like the Han Solo movie.
Apparently, they're still making the Lando one.
I didn't mind. I didn't mind the Han Solo movie.
See this the one scene. So the people who love Rogue One hate the prequels, but there was at least one scene in every prequel movie that was as good as the Darth Vader scene. The Darth Maul fight when the chants start, the fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin. I mean, there is something in every one of those movies that is equal or better than the Darth Vader
I
scene
agree.
in Rogue
Like
One.
the fight with Obi-Wan and Anakin and Revenge of the Sith is probably one of my favorite fights. And
Yeah, it had some of the best
Ever.
dueling choreography out of the entire thing.
Oh yeah, I
And
generally would.
we got
put
to see
Rogue
Yoda
One,
fight with the
right
lightsaber.
yeah, you
I
got to see
mean,
Yoda with
right
fight the
below
Emperor.
episodes 2 and 3, and probably pretty equal with episode 1. Maybe slightly below it because Darth Maul, but yeah.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Hour number 2, Matthew will review Into the Spider-Verse. Can't have too much Matthew, though.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Well, which one of them?
So, because we went into it in the first one,
you're
and
right.
now we're
You're
going
right.
across it
You're
in the
right.
second
So
one.
Next, we're going beyond.
yes.
Oh, I
actually,
thought we were getting out of it.
No. There's another one. They're already.
I don't know why I'm
It
act-
comes out next March. I think.
All right, so we're having that age-old argument that we've had forever on the show, and we're going to continue about how bad Rogue One was, and you know,
I love how there's no bias in that whatsoever.
angry Zach. It's the host. I get to do that. The angry Zach is on here, like he used to be on the air. He's on the stream right now, and you can jump on the stream and agree with him. because the majority of people are going to agree with him because they know how mad he gets and they're afraid. That's what it is. You're just all scared of Zach. That's it. You're scared of Zach, so you want to jump on there and be on Zach's side so he's not mad at you. But I'm okay with him being mad at me because, the majority of his career, he was mad
I think
at
you
me.
just like it. I think you like Zach being mad at you.
I'd like to bring up something that Chris has put on the stream here. You're arguing like there's a Sith among you. It's like, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
he's
there
sitting
is.
across from me.
Their name is Lonzo.
Darth Zoe.
Yeah, it's no. I'm dark side on the fan upstate. I am an angel in this program. Without a doubt. So, there are worse movies than Rogue One.
Love.
Thank you. But the problem is, the same people who love Rogue One only loved it because of the Darth Vader scene, and that's been done better in video games and in the Obi-Wan series. Zach is coming hard against little Leia. I mean, come on, dude. As a little girl, I thought she was like 5 or something.
I love the Obi-Wan series.
Yeah,
I thought that was great.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't love it, but it was definitely the best piece of post-Disney Star Wars that we've gotten.
Yeah, I mean,
outside of
Mandalorian's pretty good.
I was about to say, I realized Mandalorian, and we also got that one last season.
God, I still haven't finished.
Never mind, it's below those two. At least season 1 and 2 of Mandalorian.
Well, Zach says she outrun grown men. If you ever try to catch
she was
a toddler,
using the Force, man.
Dude, have you?
She was a Force-fueled toddler.
Listen. There's 2 people in this room can tell you how hard it is to catch a toddler when they don't want you to catch them.
Dude, my toddler. Well, she's not a toddler anymore, but she was. Dude, she hid from us. We couldn't find her for like 3 hours.
That chase scene was just really bad. I'm going to be honest, but part of it was because it was very clear that kid had not really actually ran before, and they were trying to instruct her last minute. It very clearly looked so her running looked really awkward and bad.
All right.
Also, kids don't know how to run.
How low have we gotten? Because you guys are on here criticizing a
5-6-year-old
little girl.
That scene did not bother me at all.
I mean, come on, people.
Oh no, I'm not blaming the child.
She made more money than all of us combined for that little
probably
thing.
True.
Yeah.
But my thing is not on her. It's specifically on the production crew that didn't give her some better instructions on how to run.
Well, and the other thing is you got to forgive some things for the good moments that you get out.
It's one of those.
Was there some CGI running in there? That I saw. Was that CGI running?
In Obi-Wan? I don't think so.
No,
that was her real running.
I was gonna say the worst CGI.
I thought it was CGI. That's how awkward it was.
Yeah, the worst, not to cover up her running.
The worst. By the way, we need to go to break. The worst CGI in all of the Disney Star Wars stuff was in Book of Boba Fett.
Absolutely.
The chasing of the
Vespas.
The Vespas. Yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad. So bad. All right. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
I also feel like they did Boba dirty.
Because of the writing and everything? No, it's like we're saving all the money for when we bring in Mandalorian, and suddenly the production value is going to go up.
By the way, Tamora Morrison's made jokes about that. It's like he got some episodes of my own show.
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, we're good with that.
Yeah, let's go to a Ring World, and the production just that Ring World looks so good too.
He said she wasn't trained in the Force
until
she was old.
You don't have to be trained in the Force to use the Force. Because the Force.
I've never seen Leia trained in the Force. She just woke up with it one day.
No, she does get trained in the horrible one.
I'm just saying I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I didn't say it didn't happen.
How else could she save herself when she was in space?
Yeah, man. That was a goofball scene.
By the way, regardless of how powerful you are, that will instantly kill you.
Yeah.
Unless you have a barrier or something around yourself.
Or your Star-Lord.
It's
still Disney.
Of course, Star-Lord is part celestial.
Doesn't Nihilus swallow stars or something like that?
Yeah, Darth Nihilus.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could probably survive the cold of space, but he's a different beast in general.
Is it stars or planets that he swallows?
Planets,
that's right.
Because he feeds off of the life force.
Wouldn't it be better if he swallowed stars, though, and harnessed their energy?
Well, no, then he'd be a ripoff of the Death Star, and they already did that.
Zach, please calm down. But
That's a good idea.
Layla was not who that was. Layla has got me on my knees.
Wait,
what's Layla's doing
darling,
here?
Please.
Across the Spider-Verse's opening day, domestic, specifically
Walking
domestic
Dead City.
Day.
I can't wait.
Beat the
I
Mario
can't wait
movie.
for it. Are we
Did it?
Walking Dead
I'm
fans here?
surprised.
Anybody?
Stopped watching like a season or two
What?
after Glenn's death.
Glenn's
Yeah,
death.
it's just yeah. Yeah, I know it's a typo, Zach. Why is it a typo? Because he's so mad you're not typing right. That's why. That's why.
He's getting fidgety fingers,
Yeah,
everybody.
Yeah.
Pounding them keys,
You don't want him
man.
to be fidgety. He's packing heat. Anyway.
So
Talk
no
about his
Walking Dead
anger.
other
This
than
is-
Lonzo, no Walking Dead fans here.
Dude, we watched like 10 seasons of it, and then it's like, you know what? I'm tired
That
of
was
watching
season
this.
8.
Okay, whatever. Thank you, expert. Zach says it fell off after season 5. It started to lose me. I just thought the Glenn and was it Abraham?
Abraham.
Yeah, the deaths were gruesome, and that bothered me after that. I could never get over it. I watched another season or
There
so.
was so Stephen Ewan was on Conan's podcast at one point.
I agree
And
that it
Conan-
fell off.
Conan,
It's just I was so invested in the first like 5 or 6 seasons of it
Mhm.
that I had to see. I had to see how it ended.
So Conan was basically
They
telling
got some
Stephen.
spin-offs coming out,
Okay.
which I'm excited about.
He's not doing it on purpose.
I know he's not.
He's
I'm-
not. You just need to be faster.
I was being very concise, but Conan was basically telling Stephen Ewan, is like, I kind of hate Jeffrey Dean Morgan now because of that. I was like, I saw him the other day and I just felt angry.
Oh, I love Negan, dude. He's like one of the best villains ever.
So I did Maggie had taken over was it Hilltop or whatever that community.
Yeah.
I got that far. I also got through Negan because we're on Easy Street. Yeah. So I did watch a couple seasons.
What did he say? I thought he early in the comics.
Yeah, Zach. Rob Young's like, you need to,
I agree, Zach. I think that Shane
in
should have
the
lived.
comic, Rob's like, you need to buy this. And I'm like, okay. And the one Walking Dead comic that I bought is when someone died. Rick died. He said, this will be worth money.
Yeah.
All right, the argument continues about Star Wars on the stream. We got a lot of stuff we're going to get to in the next hour. Let's see. Scott says YouTubers categorically hate Obi-Wan. They declare it ruined the character and was utterly a failure because it was the one they could have gotten right so easily, and they failed completely. I have no streaming service, so I can't say personally. It was pretty bad. It was until the Mandalorian showed up, and then the production value went up, and it got better just because of that. And when Grogu came on, because Grogu's so cute that you forget how bad everything else is. It's a good play. You bring on the kid, and no, he is not. Speaking, I was talking on the stream about how Rob Young told me it was like insider trading. He told me, "Hey, buy this comic. It might be worth something eventually," because he's my friend, and he told me about it. And knew I didn't collect that certain kind of comic, Walking Dead, and then and it's the one where Rick got killed. You know what's coming up, Tim? And me and you are the only ones that's going to, well, no, not necessarily, because I'm sure people in the room have fathers, but Father's Day is coming up in just a couple of weeks. And if you're trying to figure out, hey, what am I going to do for Father's Day? I don't know what to buy my dad. Let me tell you about Borderlands Comics and Games, 410 South Pleasantburg Drive. We were just over there today because our walls were bare. And so went and bought a couple posters to throw up on our stream, and it looks a lot better. We're not entirely there. We're trying to nerd this place out. I'm tempted to leave it just to see if anyone says anything. No, I don't want anyone swiping my stuff because it's all cool. And I want to.
I have an idea.
Yeah,
we leave voice recordings of Pappy whenever they try to move.
No,
it.
we're not doing that.
He sings the songs that are associated with.
Tim is he's looking longingly at the Attack of Titan poster back there. So anyway, we bought. You can buy posters at Borderlands Comics and Games. Let's say your dad's into posters, vintage posters. I can say they have those because right behind Cameron is a poster of Willy Wonka. So if you want a picture of Willy Wonka, they got those. You know what? Maybe your dad's into collecting statues. Maybe he's, maybe he's into collecting Funko Pops. Maybe he's maybe he used to collect comic books when he was a kid, and he's told you, man, I really love this comic. Well, they have a bunch of old comics and new ones too that you can just go get your dad an entire series. And maybe you're like, well, I don't buy that many. Get them a graphic novel, because they have graphic novels there. And the graphic novels they compile like an entire series of comic books into one thing. And you can get them one of those. Maybe dad's into vintage video games. Well, they sell those too, or vintage toys. They have those also. Cameron and I were over there earlier, and in the back, it's not really on the back, it's on the side. When you walk into the left, they have a bunch of gaming tables. And by gaming tables, I mean where you can play Dungeons and Dragons or Star Wars or Warhammer. And they were playing a game today, and I told Cameron, go over there and see what that is. And we still had to ask what it was.
I was like, in my defense, I thought it was Warhammer, but I wasn't quite sure, because like all I saw were like the treants. So I'm just like, huh.
Was it Warhammer? Was it Warhammer?
It was indeed Warhammer. It was
okay.
Age of Sigmar. So they were going with the
wait.
Welcome back, buddy.
It's been 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we almost made it through the first hour without anyone getting noobed.
Yeah,
look at Tim. Look at how happy Tim is.
Yeah, because I know it wasn't me.
His face is red. I didn't do it. I could have got you for one earlier, but I didn't.
Yeah, so, it wasn't me.
Yeah,
this time.
Before the show started. That was a little too obvious. So anyway, what was the name of the game again?
It was the Age of Sigmar version of Warhammer Fantasy.
So it was really cool. So they have games going on over there all the time. So it's 410 South Pleasantburg Drive. They're open every day. Go get your dad something. I mean, because your dad will love it. And we'll love it too. And say, I heard about it on the Upstate Pulse when you go over there. All right, let me tell you what we got coming up in the next hour. Matthew is going to review Spider-Verse. I'm going to say the title wrong, so I'm just going to go with Spider-Verse. We also have an AI takeover, which has to do with the best form of music in the entire world. Daggum country music. Yes, AI and country music. Exactly.
I don't want to be on this planet.
We're also going to talk a little AEW. I have a question for everyone out there and everyone in the room. We're going to talk some video games. Diablo IV just dropped. And if you see my sign behind me, my question is, by the end of the year, which game makes the most money, Diablo IV or the new Zelda game? Curious about that. Also, Nerd Roundtable, we have an interesting question, and we're talking cheese, because when people curse, we throw in cheese. That's just what we do here. And, maybe it'll help you for your late night snack later, because it possibly could. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas, and the show continues during the top of the hour news. A good thing I'd stop talking.
Sorry. Okay, how early are we? We're very
30 seconds.
All right, no, you're getting it on that. Come on, Tim.
Yeah.
He got so happy, and then he noobed himself. He put himself right into the newbie.
Tisk.
Yeah, look, now Matthew's
New frequency, same
commitment.
15 minutes of nonstop breaking news and stimulating talk kicks off every hour.
News should be completely honest.
Every weekday, mornings and afternoons.
Only on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Republican presidential hopefuls got to make their case today, and Iowa's Senator Joey Ernst's annual roast.
It's a habit.
Not going to dwell on it. I'm not going to dwell on it. We all make mistakes. Have AI ready for the first one. We're going to start out with that, and then we'll get to Matthew in the second, and then we'll combine a bunch of other stuff. We got to get to Roundtable, though, for sure.
Also, I realized I forgot to mention it when I was talking about Momocon, but on my way back, I stopped by a used bookstore that I checked for out-of-print manga, and I managed to grab Volume 1 of Trigon Maximum, which is awesome. But also, a funny thing that happened while I was there was I just randomly happened to run into my dad, who also happened to be at that store at the exact same time.
Wow.
I went there on that exact day.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that was funny.
Did you ignore him?
No,
because you moved out.
I didn't see him when I walked in, even though he was apparently at the front counter. And so while I was looking at stuff, he walked over to me and was like, "Hey, Matthew. Oh, hi, Dad. What are you doing here?"
Whereas I could have had a moment where people walked up to me and went, "Lonzo, are you buying a My Little Pony?" No. And then I just pull out pictures on my phone. This is my granddaughter. This is another picture of my granddaughter. This is another picture of my granddaughter.
Meanwhile, my dad just looks over at the manga section that I'm standing in front of. Probably, I feel like he had the most disappointed look in his eyes.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
So your dad's not really into that stuff?
Oh, no, not at all. He doesn't care. Like, I don't think that, like, I've told him the kind of stuff that I'm into before and all that, as far as like media and things like that. It's just not the same stuff that he's into. I don't think he cares. Like, I don't think he actually looks down. I think it's just some of the stuff in that section is not exactly the nicest, and I'm sure that he saw those things and was like, why are you looking at this?
I hope my boy isn't into that stuff.
Yeah. No. But I just thought that was funny that I have.
What is this?
Just happened to
Food
run into
Wars.
him.
All right, Scott, I got to say that is a well-written comment on the stream. It's completely wrong, but you did such a good job writing that. You are not going to sway me into saying that Rogue One is a better movie than what it is.
Scott, that was actually very correct.
Yeah, no, it's well written. It really is. And I don't believe like written with anger like what Zach's doing. But you know,
you have one guy just spitting, he's so angry, and then the other guy very eloquently putting his points. I just imagine Zach's outside with a megaphone on.
No, next time I see Zach, he's gonna walk up and kick me in the shin.
It'll be completely warranted too.
Yeah, no. After I get up off the ground, I'll laugh about it.
Just do a Peter Griffin, go like, ah.
As I wipe away my tears of joy of seeing Zach and get myself up off the ground after he kicks me.
Zach!
Yeah, he's like, boom. Hopefully he's not wearing work boots or
I
something.
feel like that one thing. I know I'm invoking the name of the Crystal Skull, but it's like, Jonesy! And then immediately get punched.
Oh, also another thing I got to do at Momocon, there was, so I don't know if y'all know about Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2 on the N64.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the
played those. One of them. You had one of them.
Yeah, the first stadium.
Yeah.
There was a small tournament for Pokemon Stadium 2 using the rental Pokemon. So my friend told me about it, and he introduced me to the Pokemon Stadium 2 rental team meta. And so we got to have some fun with that. He made it to the semifinals. I made it to the quarters, but neither of us won. But my friend did actually win the Smash Remix tournament, which is a Smash 64 hack.
Nice.
What Pokemon were you using when you lost?
So I was using Fearow. It was because it's only Gen 1 and Gen 2 Pokemon, and the rental Pokemon are preset with movesets and everything too.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of the like fully evolved Pokemon are actually horrible because their moves are just awful. But so Fearow is the best Pokemon in the game.
It's like, hey, I have Ho-Oh, but the only thing he can do is tackle.
Excuse me, did you say Ho-Oh?
Yeah, Ho-Oh.
Like the cake?
No, like the bird.
Ho-Oh.
Oh, it's Ho-Oh. It's not Ho-Oh.
H-O-O-8.
There's not two H's. There's okay. All right.
Yeah.
Ho-Oh.
Now what's
that wasn't supposed to be a bit. I just screwed that up. I'll be honest.
Oh, I also forgot to show off the Dragon Ball figure that I got.
Oh, this is pure failure.
This is a super awesome figure.
Apparently,
I love this thing.
Hey, did you see that?
That Shinron does look
It is
nice.
super awesome.
Oh, that's cool, man.
As a man who
Put it in
fancies
focus.
dragon statues himself.
Yeah.
As a
I'm
man
not
who
normally a big
fancies-
statues guy, but
Trey says
Snorlax is
Snorlax
also.
will be my spiritual Pokemon.
I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Snorlax is the best Pokemon in the game because you set up with curse once or twice on a physical attacker, and he literally just wins.
What's the one that sings?
Yeah.
It's not Togepi. What's the one that sings?
Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff. Yeah.
Jigglypuff.
That's what Emery
Jiggly.
chooses every time he plays Smash
Puff.
Bros.
Magneton's also really good.
Welcome back into hour number 2 of the Upstate Pulse. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Borderlands Comics and Games, and everyone out there listening and commenting on the stream and on the text line. By the way, text line 71307 and hit us up on stream. We'll try to get to all your comments, and some of them we'll talk to you about during commercials, and some of them we will talk about on the air. I want to ask a quick question. And I already know what the answer is going to be for me, probably, but I might be able to be swayed. So I've had a show on Saturday nights on WORD for 22 of the last 23 years. There's 1 year that I didn't have a show. I don't know that I was suspended, but maybe I was, because, yeah. I'm so controversial. But anyway, so I've been on here a long time. So I try not to miss this show. I love this show. I got to tell you, I'm on vacation right now, and I'll be on vacation next Saturday, but I will be here next Saturday. The only time that, unless I'm in the hospital, sorry, that didn't want to be there. I can tell you that. The only other times that I miss the show is if it's Christmas or New Year's, or if we're in Columbia collecting hardware for, our various shows that win when I say hardware, I mean, prizes and trophies. They're trophies. They're nice trophies. I got some at home. And I look at them every once in a while and go, man, I used to be good. But sorry, my streak ended last year. I'm still upset about my streak ending.
Look, the Undertaker had his streak ended.
He did. You're right. But I didn't get beat by Brock Lesnar. I can tell you I did not.
You got beat by Zack Ryder. It's fine.
Well, and no, I basically got. Well, anyway, someone to tell the guy, so I'm not going to say.
What's the term for the locals that wrestle and get
I got beat
up?
by a jobber. That's
you got beat by a jobber.
Yeah, that's what we can say. I'm just kidding, by the way, if you are listening. I'm just kidding. Congratulations on winning your award. Not happening this year. Anyway, so
enjoy it. He's coming for you.
So AEW made an announcement, which one of the announcements was kind of a surprise. They're doing a live Saturday night show. The other surprise, not really a surprise, they're bringing back CM Punk. All right, I can't stand CM Punk. Didn't like him in the first place. It's not, don't do it, Zach. It's not the contrarian. I just never liked him. I thought he embarrassed wrestling when he went to UFC and had those horrible outings where he just went out and got his face beat in. I prefer wrestlers who actually can fight, like Bobby Lashley, like Brock Lesnar, like Jake Hader. Those guys got into MMA and actually won.
What about Riddle? Did Riddle do well?
Yeah, Riddle actually won also. Thank you. But I cannot stand CM Punk, and he hurt himself a lot by getting in a fight with the Elite backstage. It got everybody suspended. We don't know all the actual details. The dirt sheets will give you one side or the other. But so he's back, and he's going to be featured on Saturday night. So it was just announced that AEW is coming to the well, but it's going to be on a Saturday night. I went to Columbia last year to see AEW. It was a good show. It really was. I can like both shows. In the beginning, AEW, the production value wasn't as good. The storylines weren't as good. They've gotten better. Are they on par exactly with WWE? In some cases, yes, and in others, no. But I had a good time when I went to Columbia along with a listener and with Rob Brown from, you guessed it, the Rob Brown Show. We had a good time. Rob was dressed up as MJF because he wants everyone to look at him like they couldn't hear him in the first place, because they can.
You can hear him in a packed arena.
You can, because that dude's got pipes. So would I like to go? Yeah. But should I miss this show to go to a wrestling event that's going to be showcasing 1 to 2 wrestlers? I don't like Thunder Rosa either. I just don't. I don't think she's that great of a wrestler. I listen to her when she's on a certain podcast I listen to. I don't listen because I don't think she's that good of a talker either. I just don't like her. I will say that I've interviewed Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. I've interviewed Paul White. I've interviewed a bunch of AEW people, and all great interviews and fun interviews. Should I record this show early just to go to the well to be one of the first ones to go there? Right now, I'm leaning towards not going. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that CM Punk's going to be there. Now, chances are over on the Fan Upstate, we're going to get some interviews of AEW wrestlers before they come. And if CM Punk is one of the guys that we interview, I'll be cordial, but it's not, I'm not looking forward to it. So should I go or should I not? Should I do this show and not worry about it?
So what you're asking is, should you stay or should you go now?
No, because that's
Should I stay or should I go?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Mark says Tony Khan needs to get his money's worth from CM Punk. And I get all that. But he's been kind of poisoned everywhere he's been. And I think it's if he's not firing him and keeping him under contract, it's like all the people that they're not showing on TV, like El Idolo, who I do like, and some of the other guys are going to show up on the Saturday thing. I don't know. So I'm probably I'm probably not going to go, but some other people are going to try to change my mind. I'm just letting you know. More than likely, Rob Brown from the Rob Brown Show is going to try to change my mind, and we'll see. We'll see. So I just want to throw that out there. Right now, what we're going to do is that's not what we're going to do. All right. Yeah, you owe me too, but I don't want it right now. We're going to take an early break because we got a lot of AI takeover to get to. And we're going to do that after the break. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Now all we need is just for you to
get out of your head. Get out of your head. Stop it. Have a good time for the last 45 minutes.
You want a pep talk?
Yeah, you don't want a pep talk.
You might be crying by the time we're done. But your life will be enriched.
You have a bad time the last minute and a half. But leading into that.
All we need now is for you to
all right.
misdo the numbers and we'll have the trifecta.
Better. You get to fight with me here in a second. That'll make you feel better.
Yeah.
It's Saturday. It's all right for that.
Agree.
I love a good argument.
I'm going to throw it out there that I believe that Tim is going to be in absolute agreement with me on the first AI takeover story.
Changing my idea.
Dude, I don't know about the game. I played a couple of the latest 2Ks from WWE. I think people want to like it so bad that they're getting past the graphics and stuff. And and I see what you're saying, Zach, about nostalgia, but a brand new game,
Dad's not the biggest fan of nostalgia.
It's hard for me to go back. It just really is. It's hard for me to place. And if it's new, but they're saying, well, it looks like classic. It's like, okay, so you didn't want to put the money into it to make the graphics as good as your competition. I think they made a mistake, but we'll see. We'll see. Doesn't mean it's a bad game. I just don't like the look.
Of course, you're not a big fan of Minecraft. You're not like the biggest fan of retro graphics in the first place. So
you'll be 12? Good for you, Trey. You're gonna be a tweenie.
Congratulations on your 57th birthday.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Are we using the Fibonacci sequence with that or through claps and pointing?
What in the world are you talking about?
Fibonacci. You aren't familiar with that?
Who?
He was a big partier, let me tell you, that Fibonacci. So is Pythagoras.
Stinking theorems.
And Archimedes, God rest his soul, before they killed him. I remember the siege of Sicily.
Was it over pizza?
Where am I?
With spaghetti?
No. They were
garlic bread.
No. That was way before any of that.
When was spaghetti invented?
I think it's a lot more modern than what you're giving it credit for.
I don't think so.
You have to break character to
Yeah. When was spaghetti invented? I don't know. Matthew just left. Must have made him mad.
Oh, it's
I'm sorry, David. I'm afraid I can't do that. You wanted to know what the Matrix is. What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, taste, and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
3 billion human lives ended. The survivors of the nuclear fire of the war, Judgment Day. They lived up.
All right, time for AI takeover. But before I jump in, because I can do this, we ask a question: when was spaghetti invented, and when was it?
Well, they said that it could have been invented like within like the 1st century BC.
Okay, so
or like
BC, or so that's pretty old.
Yeah,
that's pretty old. So
of course, it's saying it's like more than likely it came about from.
So spaghetti came about before Italy.
Yes.
Wow. So
and actually,
spaghetti,
from what it was saying, it was a root.
But he was Italian, right?
Well, no, because if Italy didn't exist.
Well, let me finish this. It was saying that like,
hey man, why don't you finish this?
There was a Arab occupation of Sicily during the 700s, and then they said there was a pasta-like dish that they had, and then the Sicilians more than likely took the root of that, and they had actual records of spaghetti being made in the
they said
1200s.
Hey, yo,
so would it be like Greek Roman?
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take your pasta. We're gonna take your noodles. We're gonna turn it into pasta, and say it was ours. All right. Tone says that pasta was invented in China. All right. AI. Let's talk about this. First of all, we have different radio stations on during in the restroom when you go in there, and it just depends on who goes in there, and they change it. And Hawk and Tom from B93.7 was on yesterday. They were talking AI. I had to fill in for Tim when he was sick. Charlie was talking AI. Everyone is talking AI.
It's the AI takeover.
A couple stories really quick before I get to the one where I think Tim and I are going to agree. James Cameron is in talks to do the next Terminator, but what he's going to do, it's going to be AI based. AI is going to take over, which technically is what the first Terminator was, but they did it with robots. Instead, he's going to make it the AI that takes over.
Right.
I mean, Cyberdyne became self-aware. I don't know how it's any different than that, but he says he's going to take over. All right. The next thing is country stars are sounding the alarm on the wild west of AI in music. So country stars are mad and angry about the fact that some people are starting to use AI to write songs.
So what you're saying is soulless machines are turning out country music. So what has changed?
All right. So, hey, I don't know. I don't like country, but I can tell you they feel a lot for their dog. They feel a lot for that lady that just let them. They feel a lot for their truck.
Okay.
They feel a lot for all that, for their beer. Okay. They got lots of feelings about all that stuff.
Well, that's the main four.
All right.
It's
so,
like dog, truck, ex-girlfriend, and beer.
All right. I'm trying to see.
So they have a very easy.
Okay. Musician Riley Green says, I would struggle to think something that couldn't feel could really write a song to make somebody else feel. And here's the thing. Tim's written songs. I've written songs. And songs
I just finished writing one yesterday.
Songs come from weird places, especially for me. You know, I've dreamt about songs, got up and written them down. Someone has said one thing and I've written an entire song about it.
Me too.
There have been other times when I've sat down and I just feel a certain way at the keyboard, just find a melody.
You think about something and then you're just like, oh, I got to write that down before I forget. And then you just go off.
Yeah.
Or you thought to yourself, I bet I could write a rap song.
So the thing is, it's not just country music, and there are a lot of quotes on there. There's like one guy is like, yeah, I'm okay with it, and he's not a star, so it doesn't matter. But some of the stars out there are really having a problem with it. And the thing is, what does it say about your music if a song can be written by AI and you do feel something?
Well, it's just copying the patterns of
right. It is. It's copying. It is copying patterns.
I mean, yeah, it is, but it's not. most songs come from inside, like you're feeling at the moment. And how can AI simulate that feeling? And I understand that AI goes through and it will pull data from other songs that have something to do with what you're trying to write, and it gets close. I'm not going to say it doesn't, but at the same time, it's not fair to somebody that is an artist that is pouring their heart out onto that page.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not. It's not fair.
See, and I have a problem with that. And I could go old man here and say, back in my day, we wrote songs the old-fashioned way, and now the kids are just recycling old songs because they are.
They are. I mean, like, and that started back in in the 90s with Dr. Dre. I mean, he was sampling stuff from old songs.
See, I don't have a problem with sampling. I do have a problem with people copying beats and in a way
that Vanilla Ice did it.
Creative usage and implementation. AI is just plagiarism.
In the way that Vanilla Ice did it. Dum, 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 dum.
Yeah, but see, this goes dum, dum, and ours goes dum.
Yeah. See, and that's different, and that's plagiarism. But like what AI is doing is
all right.
basically taking the artist's work from them.
All right, couple things on the stream, by the way. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Scott says the country stars are worried that AI will expose their secret, that it takes no talent to write a country song.
That's not true.
And here's the thing: I could write a country song in minutes.
See, I disagree with that. I don't
disagree that I can write a country song.
I think that it takes talent to write a decent song. Yes, I don't care what genre.
We're talking about country songs, and I don't like country. And you know why? I've been asked by Rob Brown and others, why do you not like country? Because it's easy. That's why I don't like it. It's too easy. Maybe it's a family thing or something, but writing a country song is a piece of cake.
You ever played a banjo?
No, we're not talking about music. We're talking about writing lyrics to a country song.
Well, lyrics are easy to write.
They're not for everybody.
They are for me.
See, that's the thing. Just because something's easy for you doesn't mean it's easy for everybody else. I have a family full of musicians that can play any instrument. I can't do that. And several of them come up to me and said, I wish I could do what you do. I cannot write a song.
I've had that too.
It's not that easy to write a song, but it is easy to write a country song. So, but this is not just about country. It's going to be all genres. Now, certain kinds of pop music, you're probably not going to be able to tell.
I think that
you're probably not going to be able to tell. There's probably some hits out there right now on pop music that has been written by AI.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
they've probably been doing that for years.
But the other thing is, so if an AI writes a song,
all pop music's canon process,
and someone like Ariana Grande or someone like that who can really sing takes that song and they put themselves into it, then it's not about the lyrics anymore. It's about the person singing it, right?
Right.
So I don't know. I don't really know.
Here's the thing: on a base level, it's very it shouldn't be done.
Well, it's
because it should be.
I do think it needs to be regulated to a degree.
Yeah, but are they going to do that?
They have to, considering their plagiarism laws and all that.
I mean,
because now at this point, how are they going to tell in a court of law if AI plagiarized somebody or this person did?
Well, that's the problem. Not only
they're going to have to rewrite the laws.
If you recall, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Part of the reason why writers are on strike right now has to do with AI.
Yeah,
and so we're going to have the same problems across every genre of everything.
I mean, as much as I love Game of Thrones, I support them on that.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Yeah, I do.
It's going to be. It's getting worse and worse. All right, now let's get to the other side, where Tim's going to fight with me probably. All right. An Air Force official says he misspoke in the tell of an AI drone killing a human operator on a test mission.
An AI drone killed somebody.
All right. So let me find the original story before he had to recant it. Let's see. We were training it in simulation to identify and target a SAM threat, an SAM threat. And then the operator would say, yes, kill that threat. The system started realizing that while they did identify the threat at times, the human operator would tell it not to kill that threat. but it got its points by killing that threat, Mr. Hamilton said. So what did it do? It killed the operator. It killed the operator because that person was keeping it from accomplishing its objective.
I also like to point out in the stories, like, I need more points.
All right. So then he said that they then trained the drone to
Drone thought it was a game.
Yeah. They did.
It's like, I need a high score. I need to kill this guy and get more
They
points.
then trained the
My
drone.
KD's down.
All right, guys, let me finish this.
Sorry.
They then trained the drone to not attack humans, but it started destroying the communications instead. We trained the system, hey, don't kill the operator. That's bad. You're going to lose points if you do that. So what does it start doing? He asked. It starts destroying the communication tower that the operator uses to communicate with the drone to stop it from killing the target. All right, so this story comes out, and then the Air Force official has now come out and said that he misspoke, that this was all hypothetical. This didn't actually happen. They were talking about simulations, also known as simulations, that none of this happened. So do you believe this happened, or do you believe that the Air Force said, hey, man, you got to go on. If you want to keep your job, you're going to go on and say, hey, this didn't really happen.
Where did this happen? Do we know?
Where did it happen?
I mean, is it like Area 51 stuff?
No. So let's see. An Air Force official says that he misspoke when describing how an artificially intelligent drone programmed to destroy air defense systems rebelled and killed its human operator after it decided they were in the way of its mission, air defense systems. Colonel Tucker Cinco Hamilton, the U.S. Air Force Chief of AI Test and Operations, was quoted as describing a simulated test in which the system had been tasked with destroying the missile sites.
Maybe they used AI to simulate.
Colonel Hamilton admits he misspoke in his presentation at the FCAS summit, and the rogue AI drone simulation was a hypothetical thought experiment from outside the military based on plausible scenarios and likely outcomes rather than an actual U.S. Air Force real-world simulation. And the sun reflected off swamp gas on a weather balloon.
Landed somewhere in Venus.
I also love the use of doubling down on hypothetical thought experiments instead of saying thought experiment.
So you're asking me if this really did happen or if it was what they said, which would be just a hypothetical thought process.
I would like to point out something that Mark just put on the stream. It's like AI drone. I'm afraid I can't do that, Colonel.
Oh, exactly. Except do it in that creepy weather guy that we have's voice.
Or Johnny number 5.
Are you guys freaked out by the creepy weather guy? We got one weather guy that just sounds real creepy. And the weather today,
yeah.
It's going to be warm enough for a drone to take you out. We're going to go to break right now. When we come back, we're going to hit the Nerd Roundtable. We're going to talk cheese. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
That was your creepiest outro ever.
That's what he sounds like.
Yeah, that's exactly what he sounds like. Every time it's like, whoa.
I always think it's Winnie the Pooh.
I just don't think, have
a warm
when
breeze
we
from the
switched
south.
to these weather people, a lot of people thought they weren't real, but you can look up Jennifer Bluchitsky.
Wojcicki?
Yeah, she's an actual person. Yes.
Yeah.
Did you just say blue cheese?
That's what the texters call her, Bluchitsky.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's Vuchitsky.
It's Wojcicki.
It's something like that.
Wojcicki. Yeah.
Yeah, try to spell it.
Wojcicki. I think that's her. Yeah.
It is her.
Yeah.
She's never not working.
She's everywhere. You can't escape.
Come back with Nerd Roundtable.
By the way, Scott, every chance that the guy was just talking about the simulation in the first place and just it's one of those things of like you're working on something so long.
It's just like that AI who said he was human.
It was AI using AI to run its own simulation.
Yeah.
Are we sure the Colonel's real?
Which is what Joshua did in War Games.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen War Games? It's pretty old, but
it's almost like we use that for a rejoin.
It's almost
for that
not
thing.
Everyone knows that's from.
That is what that's from. Shall we play a game?
Yeah, I've heard Bob imitate all the weather people, and it's hilarious. He would jump in while they're talking and do it. It's just great. Always, when I do it, I'm worried that I'm going to get that, hey, stop making fun of.
I love the dichotomy of Spider-Man, especially this year right now. We got the amazing Spider-Man game. We got this amazing movie. And then the current comic run is just awful.
Yeah.
So this is Matthew's way of reminding me that I need to let him review Spider-Verse, and I will. After the cheese thing.
Oh, boy.
I will. Listen, if something happens, I will give it to you when it's time. If something happens and we don't get it by the last segment, I will lose lightning round to let you do it.
Also, Tones, thank you for putting that in my head. I will now forever just hear that.
Yeah. There's a dude that does that. Yeah, it's a
meteorologist. Say it as one.
No,
say it as one thing.
Meteorologist. He does. It does. It's like he makes it into two words, and it's one word.
I'm a meteorologist.
Meteorologist.
Does that mean you?
I'm a beefy boy.
You talk about meteors.
Meteor.
Oh, meteor. I get it. Like. I'm not that fat, but I'm meatier than that guy. I don't know.
Yeah, meaty.
Okay. Or as we call it on the Rob Brown Show, sturdy.
Oh yes, sturdy. By the way, I used that this week. I got a look. It's actually a good look, but anyway, I think assumptions were made.
All right, welcome into the Roundtable. And I got to say, we usually do this thing where you guys are off the rails. No, we don't have rails. And Matthew is going to review Spider-Verse. I am not going to. I've assured him and reassured him that it's going to happen. I'm letting you guys know it's going to happen. But first, we have to ask a question because it's a roundtable when you're supposed to fight about stuff. Because we've been on the same page, all of us, for the entire show. Not one debate at all. Now the stream, that's totally different. All right,
we debated Rogue One.
Yeah, I was being sarcastic. So Harrison Ford has been asked a question a ton of times. Who would win between Han Solo and Indiana Jones? Now we're going to ask that question, but before we do, Harrison Ford does not like that question. All right, Harrison Ford is also a potty mouth. So here's what we do: when there is a curse word, we will replace that curse word with a kind of cheese. And then afterwards, we're going to tell you about the cheeses. We have 4 cheeses. They're really good. By the way, this is not me plugging a website because I get no money from it, but there is an actual website called cheese.com. So you go to cheese.com and you can look up, let's say a word starts with A. You can look up all the cheeses that start with A. Let's say it starts with S. You can look up, these are just random letters, by the way. Let's say it starts with F. You can look it up. So any letters like that, again, completely random letters that I just threw out there. So you can find a cheese that goes along with those letters and then go with it. So he was asked by Esquire. So he's doing an interview with Esquire. And here was his answer about who would win between Han Solo and Indiana Jones. I'm not going to try to do a Harrison Ford because very few people can. Well, they usually ask me if there was a fight between Han Solo and Indiana Jones, who would Fontainebleau win? Ford stated. And I say, me, Aspen Ash, I don't want to Forster Cossie make sheepsog up like that. I mean, what are you asking me that crap for? So anyway, those words
I don't know that many.
Those words were replaced with cheeses, and we're going to tell you about the cheeses in just a moment. But before we do that, who wins between Han Solo and Indiana Jones? Matthew.
Probably Han Solo. I feel like laser pistol beats regular pistol
or a whip.
All right, I'm gonna go second. I'm gonna go with Indiana Jones because a lot of times Indiana Jones just gets lucky.
Yeah,
he just does. He gets lucky. Han will slip. A stormtrooper will walk in the way. Something will happen, and I'm gonna go with Indiana Jones. Cameron, who you got?
I'm going with Han Solo because he has a Millennium Falcon. He could just do a flyby with that.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
And he has chewy.
Yeah, he's got chewy.
No, this is a one-on-one. He doesn't get
Is this
chewy.
a one-on-one? Okay, that's
All right.
fair.
Zach says they both will shoot first. Viper Dave says short round wins. Absolutely. All right, Tim, who you got?
Han Solo.
All right, so I'm the only one going with Indy. All right, so here's what we do when we have curse words and we have cheeses, then we would like to tell you about the cheeses. So usually this doesn't work, but I'm willing to. I tried this like 6 years ago, letting everybody read the cheeses. It didn't work. This is a brand new crew, and I just want to try it again and see if it works. So I don't know. So I will tell you about a Fontainebleau. It is a cream cheese that originated in a village near Forêt de Fontainebleau in the Ile-de-France region of France. That's France, by the way, France. A mix of cow's milk and whipped cream. These cheese is mild, sweet, and light, containing nearly 60% fat on the dry extract. It is named after a past milk depot in Fontainebleau, where it was earlier produced. The cheese is wrapped in a thin muslin cloth. Yeah, I don't know what that is. And then sold in a gauze-lined container to retain its yummy, smooth dairy flavor and creamy texture. Fontainebleau should be served fresh, either plain or with icing sugar, maple syrup, or fresh fruit. It could also be added to quiches and cream soups for that fresh touch.
That's how you spell quiche.
So if you want some Fontainebleau, you should go out and get it. All right, so by popular demand, Pappy is going to read the next one.
Oh, yeah. Now, I'm going to...
All right, let's not take all day. Come on, Pappy, jump in there.
Hermansfelder Forsterkäse is a classic lumberjacks cheese produced in the canton of St. Gallen in Switzerland, simply known as Forsterkäse. The wheels of this wash rind cow's milk cheese are enclosed with a thin strip of fir bark. Fir bark! The cheese is produced by cheesemaker Ernst Dürrewachter. My German's a little rusty. Who uses thermalized milk of brown Swiss cows to create a semi-soft and supple ivory paste that is washed regularly with brine and matured for at least 6 weeks before release. The mold-ripened cheese gives the cheese its pungent aroma and soft, sticky rind.
Cut the cheese?
While the fir bark aids in developing the spicy,
all right,
floral,
Pappy, pull it together,
and woody
man.
flavor. I'm savoring this. It is firm, smooth, and velvety in texture, becoming softer as it ages. Yeah. Normally, it tastes good with Italian Amarone, red, Pinot Noir.
That kind of
French,
wine, yeah.
Gewürz.
What is it? Gewürz?
Gewürztraminers. Riesling and white.
It's Riesling, by the way.
Riesling?
Yeah. All right, that's enough.
That was a lot of words.
That's enough. All right. This is going about as bad as I thought it would. All right, Tim.
Or going great.
All right.
Depends on who you are.
Aspen Ash, produced by Haystack Mountain Goat. Dairy is a soft, bloomy rind. Is it rind? Cheese?
Yes,
rind
covered in vegetable ash. It has a light and creamy texture with a great mouthfeel and amazing flavor. Serve with
great mouthfeel. Yeah. That means when you eat it, you enjoy it. That's what it means.
Serve the cheese with fresh fruits such as pears, grapes, raspberries, and thin crackers.
There you go.
Thin crackers for a good mouthfeel.
And finally, for the best reading of all.
Well, thank you for the preemptive praise. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Shepsog. Shepsog is a mixed milk cheese made by the Crafton Cooperative Cheese Company in Vermont. High-quality sheep's and cow's milk is used to make a stunning wheel of cheese, which is then aged in Grafton's caves for a minimum of 5 months. This cheese is available only in the fall and winter. Complex and earthy, Shepsog develops a buttery, yellow, semi-firm paste during its ripening period, encased by a velvety rind of white and gray molds. Its flavor is rich and round with a nutty and sweet finish. The cheese pairs well with Syrah. This celebrated cheese has won many international awards, including Super Gold at the 2014 World Cheese Awards. It has been judged as one of the world's 62 best cheeses.
I have a question.
Yeah.
First of all, yes, good job. That was fantastic. How can a flavor be round? What does that mean?
It means
what does it mean?
I've heard the term before. I don't know.
Can
exactly.
a flavor be?
Can a flavor be well circled.
Does it just stay with you all the time?
It has a start and a finish.
Smooth or velvety.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It has a start and a finish that loops.
Like supple.
Velvety, smooth, plush, opulent, supple.
There we go.
Yo, man, my Cheetos taste round. I don't know.
These are some
I don't know if that works.
supple Cheez-Its.
Maybe the cheese is round.
All right.
It could be round cheese.
All right. Because I said I was going to make sure, and especially after that reading. All right. We didn't get to see Spider-Verse, but not only is Matthew going to review it right now, he's going to tell you the proper name of it.
Spider-Verse, across the Spider-Verse.
There we go. It's my fault. It's my fault.
Is in there?
Yes, it is. It's a very important part.
Okay, the second one.
The second one. But yeah, so I went to go see it this morning. And so leading up to this film, I had several friends that have gotten to see it over the past couple of days, and they gave me some glowing recommendations for it, saying that they had a great time with it, that it was great, they loved it, and that it was going to blow my expectations out of the water, that I wasn't ready for how good it was going to be. And despite all of that, with those expectations raised up that high after the first movie being so fantastic and ushering in a renaissance of modern animation, somehow it still absolutely shattered every single one of those expectations. This is one of the best movies that I have ever seen in recent years, potentially one of the best movies that I've ever seen, period. It was an incredible time, and I'm not going to spoil a single bit of it about it, but simply put, this is a movie that has an incredible amount of care and passion put into it. There is a story that this team wanted to tell, and they are putting every foot forward they can to tell this story the best way it can be, the way that it deserves to be told. The story, the characters are all immaculately well written. Their arcs and everything about them is exactly what I would hope for from this kind of story. The use of color in these different dramatic scenes to accentuate how the characters are feeling it's insane. The use of color in this movie is, oh my gosh, it's so good. It's just a movie that takes advantage of every single factor, every single advantage that the medium of animation has, specifically 3D animation especially. It takes that and says, yes, absolutely, this is what we're going to make use of to tell this story. It's like the team literally took a look back at the first Spider-Verse film, said, oh, you thought that was good? That's garbage. Here's what a real movie looks like.
You're going to have to clean that loogie here in a second.
It was absolutely fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. And I am, even if the next movie doesn't surpass this one and just finds itself somewhere in between the first Spider-Verse and this one, it will still be an incredible movie. And I am so extremely excited. I'm just blown away. And I'm going to see this movie again in theaters at least once or twice. All right.
So a couple people in stream, Chris disagrees with you, and he wants to know if you're getting paid to do it. Well, kind of, sort of.
Am I getting paid? I don't.
No, he's not really getting paid to be here unless he does his hours a certain way. I don't know, but yeah, I just that's a glowing review. It actually is. Zach says he has very little screen time, but
the way it ended,
Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider, was great and funny.
I'm not going to talk about that at all. Yeah, it needs to be a complete. I'm not going to prepare you for it ending in any way, shape, or form.
Your review made me want to watch it.
Please go watch it.
Yeah. I really
it is best to go into this movie as blind as possible. There's so many great things about it that
I didn't know it existed until you just talked about it.
All right, so let me throw a couple other things really quick before we go to lightning round. Video game wise, Cameron and I both are presently playing Diablo IV, and here's the thing. So if you bought the cheaper package, you couldn't play early, but then they decided to send alerts out. Hey, if you pay $30, you can play right now. And two people that I know actually did it. Actually, 3 people that I know Actually, 4 people that I know.
Several
actually did it.
people got suckered into it.
I have very few friends on Xbox, but almost all of them are playing it. So all of us ended up paying that money.
I only have 2 friends on Xbox right now,
and I'm one of them.
Yeah.
So
Rob's just send me a friend request, Tim.
I don't know your gamer tag. You gotta let me know.
It's Pappy Rocks.
Oh Lord. So how many are you about to get right now?
So original Mesopotamia.
None of that's true. I just made that up. So enjoying the game so far. The couple guys I know are ahead of me because they got an early start, and I know I played the beta, and I know I shouldn't have, but then Cameron was going to be playing it, and I couldn't have him playing it and me not playing it for show purposes, so we can review it.
When are we going to play Redfall? Didn't we say we were going to do that?
Eventually. We just got to
Diablo
find
IV
a time.
just came out, so that'll take a backseat for a while.
All right. Speaking of video games, Stranger Things VR is coming out, and you are Vecna.
Ooh,
You are the bad guy.
Oh,
in Stranger Things VR.
Gonna be sucking out eyes.
Yes, you can do all that. There's a trailer out right now, and
cracking bones,
but it's for a Quest
and floating.
So
people.
you got to have Quest to play it.
So no Rift or anything like that.
So far, it's only Quest 2 and Quest Pro and Quest 3 when that comes out. But there's another thing. Before we go to break, there's another VR game coming out that Tim's just going to pass out.
No.
Attack on Titan VR is coming out.
I don't know if I'm going to
pass out. That sure sounds like a really good way to throw up.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking.
The trailer is out. You should watch it. And yes, as I've figured out, all the Titans are naked. And so you're fighting the Titans. Although it's like, I don't know if it's fig leaves or what, but they, at least in the trailer,
you know what? They should just make a Titan store on the show, and they can just go buy their own.
So
clothes.
You are a member of the Scout Regiment. Do you know what the Scout Regiment is?
Yes.
All right. So you can play with other people.
Right.
So there. I thought you'd be a little more excited.
I am. I do. I will definitely be playing it.
Do you have a Quest?
Do I have a Quest?
It's the name of the VR system.
Oh.
Yeah, we are. Quest.
Like, what quest am I going on?
Am I on a Quest right now?
I have a Quest to go on vacation, and I'm going to do that
no,
in about 12
a
minutes.
PSVR, so I probably won't get to play
me too.
I like how the Scouts have a different title in like every single time that they're referenced in different media. It's really funny.
All right,
nobody knows how to translate it.
Real quick before we take our last break,
yeah.
When you guys go on vacation, what kind of video games do you take with you?
I bring my whole system.
Do you? Okay. Matthew.
Normally, I'll bring my DS and my Switch.
Okay.
They're portable.
So that's what I do. I take my Switch, and I just got a
your PlayStation can be portable too.
I just got a
as long as you have a power source in the car.
I just got an iPad, and I can do a lot of stuff with that, and I also play on the phone. And Cameron, what do you take?
Switch, typically my old laptop, that kind of thing. I play some old retro games on there.
Oh yeah.
There's just a lot of times where sitting in a hotel room and just chilling out after the long day.
Go ahead and hit the music. Alan says, I'm transitioning from vehicle to house. Thank you for still taking us with you. Bella Vatina Espresso is the best cheese ever, fellas. We haven't had a cheese tasting in a while, but there's another test that we might end up doing. We're going to talk about in the lightning round. You listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Why didn't you like the animation in the first Spider-Verse, Hans?
I think some people might find it to like be jarring in some way.
I mean, I guess
I don't personally, but I can see where people can have an issue with it.
People that are less experienced in animation,
even if you're,
maybe?
yeah, you went EDM, yeah, it's kind of like that.
Welcome to the Upstate Pulse, where we play trap music.
Here's the vibe that I want on this.
Trap music.
The vibe, it was more like Skrillex type stuff.
Sorry, dubstep.
Remember, I'm old. The vibe that I want on this show
was fire.
is alternative, is that stuff, is stuff that doesn't fit on any other show. It used to be a thing where we played a certain kind of music and no one else did because some producers just decide to play the stuff that they play on here everywhere else. It kind of bleeds over. And here's the thing, whoever that producer may be, let's say it's for the Charlie James Show. Charlie don't care about the music, so
You don't.
so Tim just plays whatever he wants, but we have to. It has to be whitelisted in order to play on the stream.
Yeah.
So we can't
So
play
I had
songs that you
I
actually
had to do
know.
it on the fly, and it just took me forever to add more songs in. So I started adding more in.
So I was asked by LexCorp to go find something that sounds like Thank God I'm a Country Boy, to play on here, and I said no. Because
Did he really ask for that?
I was talking about how circumcision was actually trending, and he talked about castrating pigs and said that he had castrated pigs before, and I was like, okay, I don't want to know, and
I don't want any more context.
And so
to that.
then it turned into Thank God I'm a Country Boy, and he and Stoneman were in there singing it. And I'm like, I hate country, stop it. He's like, you need to type that into Alpha and say sounds
Every
like
time,
Thank
every
God
time
I'm a
I hear
Country
that
Boy.
song, I think about the movie Son-in-Law with Pauly Shore. I know you don't like Pauly Shore, but
Why would we not like Pauly Shore?
I thought you were the one that said you didn't like Pauly
No.
Shore.
I'm
I love Pauly
Goofy
Shore.
movie, man. Or was
Yeah.
It was the Cheese Whiz. Yeah. I mean, come on. And Encino Man. Loved him in Encino
Yeah.
Man. That's when Brendan Fraser was one of his first movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, Scott? I got generic Jenga at 5 and below.
Tower Tumble.
And also I bought a Yahtzee game with all the points that I scammed everybody out of at the ratings party. So we got some games like that. But I have this feeling that we're going to start playing generic Jenga, and the granddaughter's going to walk up and go, I want to play, and just pull one, and it all goes down.
Did I win?
No, you helped Cameron lose, though. Good job.
Why did you do it on my turn?
You hate to see it.
That's exactly how that would play out, too.
Nice.
You can't get mad at her, though. It's like, no.
Lightning
Yeah,
can only strike twice so many times.
All right, time for the lightning round, where we try to squeeze in as many stories as we possibly can before the show is over. All right, first thing is, you guys are going to love this, but have you ever heard of Mike the Headless Chicken Festival?
No.
Elaborate.
Oh, do it, because you got away without doing a couple. So yeah,
Hey, I got to do it now.
yeah, you do.
That's the third one.
There we go. All right, so there is a chicken festival called Mike the Headless Chicken. All right, here's a story about Mike the Headless Chicken. In 1945, a man by the name of Lloyd Olson went out on his farm to prepare chickens for the market. Everything was going routinely except for one rooster who kept pecking around longer than usual, even for a bird without a head. As an experienced farmer, Lloyd found this to be odd. Wow, that's odd. But he still went on about his day. The next morning, Lloyd found Mike sleeping with his head under his wing. The head that was cut off was sleeping with it under his wing. Amazed by the animal's determination to live, Olson found a way to feed him with an eyedropper. But there had to be an explanation for what happened, so they took Mike to the University of Utah to study the phenomena. Turns out that Mike's brainstem was still healthy, allowing him to grow and live for another year and a half. During those 18 months, Mike was known as the Headless Wonder Chicken. They hired a manager and took him around the country. Mike the Headless Chicken. So now there's a festival. And so at the festival in Colorado, you can, let's see, they have disc golf, they have competitive eating, they have a classic car show, and they got music and a pancake breakfast. So if you guys ever wanted to go to Colorado, you can go there and go to.
Is it themed?
Mike the Headless. I don't know if there's like a headless.
What is the theme?
Pictures of headless chicken there, but all right.
All
So
right.
Tom Holland.
All right, then.
Tom Holland has said that Spider-Man 4 is still a go. They're in talks, but right now, because solidarity with the writer's strike, the talks are off for now. So Spider-Man 4 will be happening eventually. All right. Also, speaking of things that will be happening eventually, John Carpenter is going to make a Thing 2. The first Thing was an amazing movie. It's a cult classic. Got Kurt Russell in it. When the severed head sprouts spider legs and runs away, it is the freakiest thing in the world. But and they used mostly practical effects when they did that back in, I don't know, it was like 82 or something like that. So they're talking about making another one. And I don't know if they should or not. Because when something's a cult classic, should you make a sequel to it?
Well, the other thing is it ends on such a, I wouldn't say a good note.
Yeah, there are two people left. You don't know if one of them is one of the creatures.
Because it kind of destroys the ending. Then then you have the
I agree.
question answered.
I don't feel like you should do that.
All right, TikTok's newest amazing craze. Some girl in Australia thought, I really like hash browns, eh? And she also likes McFlurries. So she decided to, because she likes salt in her ice cream, to make a hash brown McFlurry sandwich. And so now TikTok, because it's TikTok, has decided, yeah, we want to do that too. So I'm trying to figure out how we can get McDonald's hash browns and a McFlurry. The only way we can do it is get hash browns and reheat them. And then get a McFlurry to eat a hash brown McFlurry sandwich.
Of course, this is turning into a taste test.
Are you guys down for a hash brown McFlurry?
Yeah.
Matthew.
That sure sounds disgusting.
Matthew.
Oh boy, can't wait.
Yeah, he's the one I was worried about.
Hash brown McFlurry.
After ranch ice cream.
So it's two hash browns.
Nothing will be worse than
it's
the ranch
two
ice
hash
cream.
browns, and you put McFlurry in between them, and it makes it into a sandwich. So the McFlurry is the meat, and the bread.
Oh wait, that's what it. I thought it was. I thought you were saying it was a hash brown flavored milkshake.
No.
I'll try that.
Fine.
No,
That just sounds like it's going to be clashing flavors that are.
I don't know, man. That sounds pretty cool. I do want to try that.
Some people say I dip my chicken nuggets in the Oreo McFlurry.
I dip my fries and
nacho
my
cheese
ice cream
Doritos
sometimes.
dipping in frosting. A lot of people try weird stuff. We've done that before here.
Bacon goes great with ice cream.
Everything goes good with bacon.
You know what else?
Give me that look.
Bacon's overrated.
You know what else?
Say it.
What else is
we
good?
need to get off the show right now because Matthew just did some heresy right there.
That's blasphemy.
Like bacon,
say that about
there's
bacon.
There's better breakfast stuff. I'm a sausage guy over bacon.
Oh my God, it's blasphemy.
Of course you are.
By the way, I think sausage and bacon both have their place. They're both wonderful.
They can coexist.
Bacon's fine. It's just people act like it's the end all be all, and it's not.
All right, I would tell you, yesterday was National Donut Day, and Steven, who's not on here today, he normally is, he must be out doing his thing, sent over some donuts for Rob Brown and I, and one of the donuts was a bacon-covered donut. Of course, that's the one that Rob ate. So I don't know if it's good or not. He says that it was floppy bacon, and I say, bullcrap, because it's pieces of bacon. It cannot be floppy.
I got to tell you, I will eat bacon floppy or crispy, or in the middle. I don't care. I love all bacon.
Crispy bacon is the way to go. Floppy bacon is undercooked.
Exactly.
And undercooked meat can land you in the hospital. That's all I'm saying.
Bacon's already unhealthy enough as is.
Yeah. But
I don't care. I still love it.
It's me too.
Crispy bacon is healthy.
I really do. Love it. And you know what else I love? I love San Dimas. Only a few of you will get that. I am so grateful for everybody participating on the stream today and on the text line and everyone in this room. And Zach, time to go to your Zen place. Just calm down, take it easy, find something easy you like. Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Have
1,
yourself
2, 3.
Have yourself a tasty cheeseburger.
Namaste.
Yes, that. Thanks to everyone, and have a great weekend. And I am officially on vacation. See ya.
Bye.
Now we got to take everything down that we put up.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's worth it. I think it adds to the look.
Heck yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool, Scott. Battlestar Galactica, the board game.
Those sound like fun.
Thanks, Chris. Tim, say goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Matthew, say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Pappy, say adios.
Adios, amigos.
Yeah. And I am saying
so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
Yeah.
Arrivederci.
I would like to sing the spam song right now, but I don't know the words.
Arrivederci.